From the 1011 Now Alert Center, this is Morning Pulse.
Good morning. This is Craig Allison with your Morning Pulse for Wednesday, March 25th. Before we get into our top 6 stories for you this morning, let's get over to our question of the day. Question is, just 10% of people say they do this every spring. What is it? Answer is hire a cleaning service for spring cleaning. That 10% really threw me off as well as everyone else on 1011 this morning. But if you feel like you could have gotten that, be sure to head over to 1011's Facebook page, put in your guesses, and we read them off as well as the answer every morning on 1011 this morning. Now, that being said, let's get on over to your top 6 stories for you, starting things off with our latest update in our wildfire coverage. Over in western Nebraska, firefighters are getting close to completely containing the wildfires that have burned more than 800,000 acres. Now, according to Watch Duty this morning, the Morrill Fire, the largest in state history, is finally 100% contained. Some good news there, but the Cottonwood Fire is sitting at 98% contained, and the Road 203 Fire is now 90% contained. For some more updates around there, the Rocky Mountain Complex Incident Management Team says crews battling the Cottonwood Fire are patrolling hotspots and investigating reports of smoke. 4 National Guard helicopters are also contributing to support the efforts. Again, this has been ongoing, and we've been nearing 100% on containment on all these fires. But be sure to stick with us at 1011 now as we continue to follow these wildfires for the latest updates. Your second story for you this morning, the Huskers have officially touched down in Southeast Texas. Nebraska will take on Iowa in the Sweet 16 tomorrow night. The matchup in Houston will undoubtedly be the biggest game in program history, with a trip to the Elite Eight on the line against the Big Red's most heated rival. Team arriving in Houston yesterday, along with 1011's Kevin Suits and Brandon Muting. Now, Nebraska was greeted at the Whitehall Hotel by staff and family members, but just as a rewind, back in Oklahoma City, even the game announcer said it was almost like a home game for the Huskers. It could be a similar story going into tomorrow. Our sister station caught up with Tom's Watch Bar in Houston to see how they're preparing for the Sea of Red, as you can see right there. Staff say they've already made several calls to beer vendors, making sure they're stocked up ahead of tip-off for tomorrow.
We heard Oklahoma City's dry, completely ran out of beer. Husker Nation, drink them dry. It's going to be a huge event over at the Toyota Center. We can't wait to see a little bit of rivalry come out of the restaurant, a little back and forth while the game's going on. We think it's fantastic. We can't wait for it.
There we go, continuing the lore as the best and most well-traveled team in the Big Ten, maybe all of sports world there for collegiate. Now, right there on your screen, you can see that information for tomorrow night's game, 6:30 p.m. on TBS and True TV. Now, this is the first time Nebraska's made it to the Sweet 16, and Iowa hasn't played in round 3 since 1999. So be sure to stick with us at 1011 as we continue to give you more coverage up to the minute when tip-off happens tomorrow night. Your third story for you this morning, in case you missed it, a standoff yesterday afternoon ended with an arrest of a Lincoln man right there wanted for weapon, drug, and burglary charges. Law enforcement went to a home near 7th and C Streets at 1 p.m. Tuesday. And officials say they were looking for 36-year-old Dustin Peterson. This forced nearby Park Middle School to go into secure mode. Peterson had reportedly barricaded himself inside. Now, he eventually came out about an hour later when he was arrested and taken to the hospital in this. Your fourth story for you this morning, we've been following the concerns of parents and loved ones of disabled Nebraskans whose care has been changed based on the Inter-RAI assessment. At the Capitol yesterday, those families and others gathered for Disability Advocacy Day, hoping to convince the legislature to act. People were specifically concerned about a proposed cap to the aged and disabled, or AD, waiver.
The AD waiver isn't just covering kids and adults with severe disabilities. It's also aging population that perhaps got an acute illness or injury or dementia.
You just heard there from parent and advocate Heidi Sommer. DHHS is proposing to cap 80 waiver services at a little over $138,000 based on the average cost of care for people in nursing homes. In the unicameral, Senator Michaela Cavanaugh introduced a priority bill that would require DHHS to explain to the participant, parent, or caregiver a clear and precise explanation of the assessment results. Now, for your fifth story this morning, we don't usually do traffic alerts, but we understand that this made quite a stir yesterday. A few traffic alerts. 40th Street is closing between M and O Streets from 9 this morning until noon, so that's about a kickoff here if you're watching us live here on Morning Pulse. The recommended detour is taking O Street to 33rd Street to A Street in that case. Canopy Street is also closing from Q to R streets in the Haymarket. Now, this is being our biggest one. Havelocks closed from 70th to 84th streets until Friday. So, again, we heard a lot from our viewers over the past day about this. Just be sure to avoid the area if you can. This is a busy road in this part of town. So, again, just try to avoid this while that kind of construction and work is being done. And a southbound lane of 56th Street is closed between A and Sumner Street. So again, just check in with our website and this story for Morning Pulse to be sure you're just up to date and aware of these traffic alerts before you head out the door. Wrapping things up with our final story for you this morning, mental health advocates are gathering on UNL's campus, putting on a display called Send Silence Packing. It's an effort to raise awareness on college students' mental health. The nonprofit Active Minds is helping bring the traveling exhibit to campus. They're a national organization spreading the word about mental health and sharing real-life stories of college students. Part of the display included 100 backpacks hanging outside the student union, sharing 100 personal stories of lives lost to suicide. Leaders with Active Minds say college can be a tough time, but no one has to go through it alone.
I always like to say, if I break my leg, you're going to sound kind of goofy telling me to walk it off, right? I'm going to go to the doctor, get a plan to help heal. Same thing with your mental health, right? If your brain's not feeling 100%, you can go to a doctor, they'll give you a plan, and we'll get through it together.
Students were also given an opportunity to write words of encouragement on a hope wall. Members of UNL's counseling services say they hope to bring back this display next year. If you or someone you know needs help, it's available 24/7. Just dial 988 to reach someone through the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. That is going to do it for your Morning Pulse for this Wednesday morning, and we'll just give you a toss over to our 7-day forecast before I toss things over to Brandon Rector with more.
Good Wednesday morning. Meteorologist Brandon Rector with you in the 1011 Severe Weather Center. Red flag warning is in effect for almost all of central and western Nebraska for today, and for a part of north central and western Nebraska, including North Platte, Ainsworth, and O'Neill. It's going to actually go into Thursday morning with critical fire weather conditions. Will be mostly sunny for today. Winds becoming west and northwest at around 10 to 20 and some gusts up to 30 miles per hour. Mostly clear to partly cloudy for tonight. Temperatures at noon already into the low 70s to low 80s. At 4, we're in near record and record high territory with temperatures in the mid 80s to low 90s. And then we'll drop that temperatures down into the low 70s to low 80s by 8. Our high temperatures for Thursday, a wide range across the state. A cold front moving through the area. Temperatures for highs could range from the upper 40s to mid 80s.
From the 1011 Now Alert Center, this is Morning Pulse.